Start looking at this plan and I see it's got 8 parts. We can just draw one of them and then copy the rest. So I start my job by designing a shape with 8 sides. I go to the plan and I design this here. And we just want to work on one part of it, one side of it. Now, what do we need to design? You see that we've got an arc here, one arc here, and one arc in the middle, as you see in the picture. One arc here in the middle, actually, and one arc the other side. So let's actually analyze the heights and the positions of the arcs. Would you agree if I said let's draw the middle, the one in the middle first? We can actually detect it in the plan. You see that this arc is exactly placed on that form. The next arc, which is in the middle, which is higher, starts from here and then a bit actually above. So basically, if we continue the sides of this form, it will reach the tip of that arc. So let's find the tip. Let me pick a line. Let me trim these two. Yes. Now the one in the middle should actually continue until this spot. This means it's actually a bit above. Now I want to set this plane. I want to design this arc. So the arc starts from a higher height, right? And then comes until a height which is even higher than this spot. So for example, if this is 1 unit, this part is about 0.75 higher. So at first I need to design the height in the middle. I need to actually manage the height in order to know how much it is. So this is what I do. I say, for example, if I consider length this much, I can say the height is nearly half of it. So I do the same thing when I want to design it. I consider half of it. You see that? You know, it's a bit less, of course. Now, the end of the arc in the middle is a bit higher than this height, which means, again, in the same plane, I design it a bit higher. For example, this spot. I think that's good. Now I set this plane and design the arc. You see how I used actually that method to design it. Now, in order to be able to design an arc here, what do we need? We need an RP, that's right, a reference plane. So I'll pick it. Don't forget to set it or design it in plan, because you will face many errors, which I've talked about before. And I design a plane, I set it. The arc we're going to design here is this. This is one part of it, and the other part is on the ground, right? So I design it, and then the slope, you can of course take care of it yourself. The other sides you can just mirror. I go to the plan, I select both itself and the reference plane of it, mirror for the other side, that's it. Alright, now we need to transfer all 3 of these into a form. So I select them all, create a form, but I see an error. Why? We've already talked about this, that the times when you're in Revit, in maths, 2 lines are in the same height, and of course they have reached each other in one point, you will face an error. So you need to fix all of these. You need to fix both of these. At first I need to separate these a bit, actually separate it. So now this is fixed. Now when I select these, You see that these two are being selected together. So you need to open a box and then click on create. I don't see an error, but what happened? You see that it rotates and it gets messed up because of the second spot. Now, in order to fix this problem, right, we need to set it temporarily, right? And as you see, I drag this up, I move it up vertically, and now they're not in the same height. You see that? Just a bit. Now again, I select these and then click on create. You see that? Now, the shell is designed, but it's not correct. It's not that much correct. So at first, let's move back the profile we moved up. As you see, we just played a trick, or let's say we fooled Revit right now. So I move it back, and now because it has been fooled, everything stays all right. Now the parts are separated. We can't do anything much with it. If you want to do weird things to it, you can, but normally there's no way. So you can just click on edit profile, select it, and as far as you can, right, bring it close, as you see, as much as you can. Now this much, well, in architecture scales, in a huge building, it cannot be seen. Well, it's finished. Now you've got two ways. You can either load it into the project and then cover it and then add it, or you can just add it right here. Now, well, we do it right here because we want to review actually. So I go to the plan, I select it. Why is mirror off? I've talked about it a lot actually. So I tab and then select it. Mirror for this part. Now I select them both. This time I open a box filter for, again, mirror. For this side, I select them all. Filter, just for. And again, I pick mirror. In this way, I draw this. You see that?